now, right now. Right 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 now, right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We've got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. They always have been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekdaily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, I'm coming to you from the front seat of my car at Best Western. There has been a lot going on in our life relatively recently, and I have worked very hard to bring you guys today's stream, and we have a lot to talk about. For any of you guys who don't know, you've been living under a rock. BitBoy Crypto, Ben Armstrong, was removed from the BitBoy Crypto brand on Monday, and TJ went on the stream, on the BitBoy Crypto live stream, and essentially said that he'd been removed, that he had relapsed into substance, the word that was used was substance abuse, and it was done to reconcile the physical, emotional, and financial damage done to the Hit Network and the BitBoy Crypto team. Yesterday, a post was made by Ben Armstrong himself on the Join Bencoin Twitter account, posting a clean drug test. So today we're going to talk about what that may mean, and we're going to kind of explore what's going on here. Now, before we get started, I want to make something very clear. First and foremost, we're going to talk about facts. We're not going to talk about rumors. We're not going to talk about degrading people's character. I'm not going to go after either one of the two men that are right now having a difficult time. And by difficult, I'm not saying that in a passive-aggressive way, like, oh, you're having a hard time, you need to go take a time out. I'm not saying that. As far as it's a very difficult time for both of them, I'm sure. I know both of them personally. I love both of them personally. I care deeply for both of them personally. You will not see me bashing Ben. You will not see me bashing the BitBoy Crypto channel. You will not see me bashing Tim. You will not see me bashing anyone. I think that people need to be treated with love and respect, and they need to be treated fairly. That being said, in keeping with what I've seen many people, including from the Ben team, the BitBoy team themselves, I think it is valid for both sides of this to have a platform. I think it is valid for both sides of this to be able to express their side of things. The Bible says that the first person that you hear sounds right until you hear the second person. The person that is making a claim sounds right until you hear the defense. There are claims being made by both sides about the other side, and so they're both going to sound right if you only hear one. It's important to have both sides of the story. So I want you to understand something very clearly. I want to put this out right here at the front. We're going to talk about something that's very controversial and that's very near and dear to my heart. I'm going to be very careful about how I go about this because I in no way, shape, or form want to demonize Ben Armstrong or TJ or Tim or DZ or Nick DeMonde or anybody that is involved in all of this. All of these are people that I care about and I love deeply, and my singular purpose in discussing this is to hopefully be a platform for reconciliation, for love, for repentance and turning from mistakes that have or maybe are going on, and moving forward, hopefully stronger as a community. This is a stream of love. This is not a stream of hate. This is not going to be a stream of, haha, look at this new evidence, it came up, wow, that person's stupid. No, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm simply going to show you these are the facts, as far as these are the things that have been stated, and I will make sure that those come to light. You, therefore, are in charge of making your own decision. I also see this as an opportunity for me to practice journalistic integrity, because the way that I want to go about this story, because this is a story, but it's a very important story in crypto, is I want to go about this in the way that true journalism should be. It's my job, as a journalist in this case, to give you information and then let you make of that information what you will. So, a little bit of backstory. Why am I sitting in my car? My family and I live in north central Florida, and if you've also been sleeping under a rock, the rock may have blown away because there's a hurricane in Florida right now. It's called Hurricane Idalia. It made landfall 2 hours ago, just a little bit southeast of Tallahassee. Originally, it was going to go straight over our house, so we were going to go on vacation to Tennessee anyway. We decided to move that up, and I'm glad we did. Based on security camera footage at our house, it doesn't look like the storm's terrible at our house, but our power did just go out about 30 minutes ago. We were told by our security camera, our security system. We know a lot of people in the area that are affected by Hurricane Idalia. Obviously, we live there, so our entire community. I've lived in the area that I live in. I've been building a community, obviously, there since I was 11 years old. So I've lived there for 12 or 13 years. So I know a lot of people that are in harm's way, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's a lot of people that I want to call right now and make sure they're doing okay, and I've been praying for them a lot, and that I know a lot of people that are in the way of this. So forgive me if it's kind of a hard stream for me, because there's a lot of people right now with probably 100-mile-an-hour plus winds over their head. Anyway, so we drove through the night. We packed up yesterday. We ended up leaving around 8. It took forever to get everything ready. You know, it takes a long time to get ready when you have 2 children, one of them especially being 4 months old. So we left around 8. We got here to this hotel at 3 in the morning, and I got about 3.5 hours of sleep last night. So we are running on coffee. I don't really drink coffee anymore. When I have had almost no sleep, I'll make an exception. But here we are. We're going to bring the stream to you. I'm excited. We've got a lot to cover, and we're going to do our very best to stay safe in the real world. As far as not in the real world, the internet is the real world, but out here in the physical world, we're also going to do our very best to maintain safety and care and respect here in the land of cryptocurrency. All right, let's go ahead and jump onto it. We've already got 360 people watching. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Official Samurai Zach in chat. That is an awesome name and an obvious reference to Samurai Jack. Somebody grew up on the right cartoons. Mike Lowry in chat. RC Moore, Crypto Ricky, Joe Bollier, Philly Skills 1428, Daniel Timmons, BNB, TC, Crypto Alerts, Devin, Alex Nibo, Thomas Post. Guys, let's cut out the hate in the chat for anybody, regardless of who they are, regardless of relationship, all that. Let's be kind. We need more kindness. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. I don't know if you heard that, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, right? Let's be kind. Let's be loving. All right. James Sachs said, hello, guys. At least Jeb knows. Yes, I felt that this was something that had to be talked about. Now, here's the deal. Let's do what we've been doing the whole time. Let's start with the facts. The fact is, in the statement, we're going to go ahead and go on over to my screen. In the statement, let's go to Twitter and pull up BitBoy Crypto, the actual Twitter account. So here are the facts. These are the allegations, right? Because these are technically still allegations. There is a disagreement, and so there are allegations out right now. One of the allegations that was made by BitBoy Crypto, and I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it is false. But until there is hard evidence, it is simply an allegation. Can we all agree on that? That is not me taking Ben's side. That is not me taking BitBoy Crypto's side. That is simply me saying that if we say something is true, until there are facts and evidence, it is still an allegation. That is not me in any way trying to downplay what BitBoy Crypto, the channel, said. Okay? Just saying. Currently, it's an allegation. There's also allegations from Ben, right? And so we need to wait for evidence and facts to come out, and I think they will. I think we're going to get a lot of information on what's going on over the next couple of weeks, and we should have a clearer picture of what's really happening. In fact, Ben admitted to some things, and so if Ben admits to it, it's a fact because he admitted to it. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And again, I'm going to reserve moral judgment. That is for you to do. I'm not going to sit here and make a bunch of judgments. I'm simply going to tell you what's going on. All right. So remember, the official statement. Yesterday, BJ Holdings, the parent company of Hit Network, took decisive legal action in removing Ben Armstrong from the company, and specifically the BitBoy Crypto brand. This difficult decision is a culmination of a prolonged effort to help Ben during his relapse into substance abuse, as well as to reconcile the emotional, physical, and financial damage he has done to the employees of Hit Network and the BitBoy Crypto community. Bit Squad deserves better, etc., etc., etc. So, the allegation is that he has relapsed into substance abuse, and then he's done emotional, physical, and financial damage to the employees of Hit Network and the BitBoy Crypto community. So those are the allegations that were used to support the decision to remove Ben. Was it a good decision? I don't know. I'm not there. It's not my call. I'm not Ben. I'm not TJ. I'm not Justin. I'm not anybody involved in this. Okay? Just be clear on that. This is not my deal. I'm an outside observer. That is for them to figure out. I'm just reporting to you what's going on here. I'm going to try and do it in as fair of a way as I possibly can. Because I think that's the only way that we build peace. I know some of you guys are going to be like, Jeb, pick a side. Look at this. This is obvious. How can you not do... I don't think I'm going to build the opportunity for peace and reconciliation by picking a side. I think if I were to pick a side, and honestly, if you guys wanted me to pick a side, I have no idea what side I'd be on. I'm not interested in picking a side. I don't know what's going on. I just see there's a mess, right? It's not just me not telling you I have a side. I genuinely don't have a side in this. I hope you know that. It's not me just trying to hide and say, oh, I don't have a side. I'm just going to be fair and balanced, but I actually vote this way. No, I don't have a side in this. I don't have a horse. I don't have a bet to place in this, a horse to race in this. So those are the allegations made by BitBoy Crypto as far as the channel. Coming on over to Ben's Twitter, as far as the Twitter that he's currently using right now, join Bencoin over on the Bencoin Twitter account. Ben says, I'll take things that never happened for 500. Nicholas, I guess Nicholas is the new guy that they put in, what's his face's place from Jeopardy. Man, I know. Alex Trebek. I'll take things that never happened for 500, Alex, if anybody doesn't know who Nicholas is. So, this was posted, and I actually want to call up a doctor friend of mine and ask them whether, the veracity of this, because this is evidence being presented. All right, so let's just clarify our terms. An allegation is me saying that Joe Blow down the street jaywalked. That's an allegation. I say that fella did that. He stole a candy bar. That's an allegation. He relapsed into substance abuse. That's an allegation. They hit somebody. That's an allegation. Evidence is when you present something, you say, hey, look, this is what occurred. But the thing is, it's not as simple, and it would be so nice if it were this simple. It's not as simple as saying, okay, here's evidence. Great. So now we're done. You also have to verify the veracity of that evidence. And so we've been presented with evidence here by Ben. But we don't know whether it needs to be verified. It needs to be verified. So, here is the evidence that is presented. And by evidence, I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm just showing you what was placed here. It'd be lovely to have more conclusive, not so much conclusive, I'm sorry, but just more on this. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter, because if Ben did relapse into substance abuse, we need prayer more than we need evidence for him. We obviously don't want that. So, we're going to run through everything. There's a Decrypt article I'm going to read from. Again, normally I don't read straight from articles, but there's a bunch of direct quotes in here, so I am going to go ahead and do that. All right, so Ben was replying to, the difficult decision was a relapse into substance abuse. If you guys don't know, Ben, I'm pretty sure it's public knowledge, at one point in his past struggled with certain drugs. I'll leave it at that. He's been clean as far as I know, and maybe he's not now. Again, I don't know what's going on here, but the story goes that he's been clean for about 10 years. I personally believe that. I don't know whether it's true, but as far as when he told me the story about 2 years ago, I believe it was public, and it seemed like it was a wonderful thing. I hope it's true. I don't know. So whether he is relapsed or not, that's something I'm not aware of. Now, something we do have to consider is this. Whew. The rabbit hole goes deeper. Goodness gracious, guys. Test results. This is yesterday. See this right here. This is yesterday at 11:10 a.m. Participant donor, Benjamin Armstrong. Reason for test, reasonable suspicious cause. Specimen collected. LabCorp Atlanta, Georgia. It's a POCT test. The company is accredited drug testing. Location is accredited drug testing. And he was tested for heroin, acetaminophen, cocaine, marijuana, opiates, and PCP. And it reads here they all came back negative. My determination verification is negative. Certified Medical Review Officer, Janelle Jaworski, MD, with a signature. So, couple of things here. And if I had the time, now again, I've been evacuating my family in the back of my car. I mean, you can literally see my daughter's car seat right here. I have not had the time to call up some doctor friends of mine and say, hey, can you look at this? Is this real? Not that I doubt it's real, not that I think it's real. I just, we want to verify things. Hopefully everybody can get on the side of, the modern justice system with me here. I'm not trying to play favorites. because I don't have a favorite here. I love both of the men involved in this, all of the people involved in this. I would love to kind of look into it a little more. Say, hey, is this something that, one, could be faked if it were able to be faked? Is this something that is an appropriate test? Is this something that can have a sample swapped? I'm not sure. It doesn't say if this was a urine sample or if this was a blood sample, I don't think. Some people in the comments of this are saying, hey, look, if you really want to prove it, go get a hair test. Apparently, you can get a hair test and it'll go back 90 days. Because, someone might argue, oh, well, he just didn't do anything for 2 or 3 days, passed a negative drug test, and that, people pass drug tests all the time, right? So this is definitely a oh, wow moment. But at the same time, it's a little bit beside the point, and we'll talk about why it is in a second. Because Ben Armstrong himself, over here on Decrypt, is quoted, because apparently he was talking to Decrypt. I need to reach out to him, make sure he's okay. He says some of these things. And again, there's not really much that I can see that the BitBoy team has come out with, so I just want you to know I'm not trying to be unfair in covering Ben more than the BitBoy team. I haven't seen them come out with much. There's not much on Twitter. I haven't heard much of substance other than, no pun intended, I haven't heard much of substance other than, kind of rehashing the original claims. So yeah. LabCorp is real. Yes, LabCorp is real. I've used it. So everybody's talking about the diet pills. We're going to get to the diet pills in a second. Let's discuss the diet pills. But the plot thickens. By the way, my hometown is underwater. Cedar Key is underwater right now. It's under about, I think at least 10 feet of water. I used to live in Cedar Key. Not our current home. But, yeah. There's definitely a lot going on down there. Anyway, moving on. BJ Holdings, the parent company, yada yada. You already heard this 100 times. Tonight, Armstrong says the conflict is far from over. Responding to allegations published yesterday about substance abuse, the Join Ben Twitter account, and again, I'm going to read directly from this because this has a ton of quotes in it. It's very short. So shout out to Decrypt. This is a very helpful article. This is called BitBoy Armstrong. Ben Armstrong calls allegations by BitBoy Crypto Network diabolical, levels own claims against company. So again, I'm not following this for the sake of drama. I'm following this because I think there needs to be a conversation had. Can we get behind that? Okay. I hope we can. Let's do it. Responding to allegations published yesterday about substance abuse, the @JoinBenCoin Twitter account posted a document showing all negative test results for a 5-panel drug test. In a text message to Decrypt, Armstrong confirmed that it was indeed him who published the drug test result document. I'm withholding making any statements now. But in a group voice call in the BenCoin Discord server Tuesday, Armstrong shared his thoughts on the current situation and vehemently denied the substance abuse allegations. I have not relapsed. That is a lie, Armstrong said in the group call. So let's go back to the original allegation. And you see why I said in office hours, I walked out of office hours because I had office hours. A couple of you guys were there. Crypto Mini Bike was there. You'll remember this. Crypto Mini Bike. I think you're in chat. Crypto Mini Bike, are you in chat? I'm not sure if he is, but he'll remember this because I said this in office hours. I said, look, I'm going to say one thing that might be a little spicy. At the moment, saying that Ben has relapsed is still an allegation, has not been proven. That's the one thing I said that might be a little controversial. Maybe all of this is controversial for you guys, but that's the one thing I said that might be a little bit controversial. Because it's true. It hadn't been proven. No offense to TJ. There might be proof, and they might just be saying, hey, we don't want to put it out for the sake of honoring him and trying to protect his image. I don't know. But for right now, it's not proven. And that's why we have to go about it this way, because now you have the person that has the allegation against them saying, hey, that's not true. So now we have to dig into this and figure out who's telling the truth, because somebody's mistaken. I'm almost tempted to say somebody's lying, but I want to leave the room for saying that, hey, somebody could have made a mistake. Somebody could have made a mistake. There could be, hey, I meant this, and actually what was conveyed was that. I've done that before. You've done that before. You've said something in a certain way, or I've said something in a certain way that conveyed that I meant this, but it actually meant that. It is possible that that occurred. It does not say drug abuse in the statement. It says substance abuse. So the word relapse is in there. Got to figure out what's going on. And today we're talking a lot about Ben because he's really the one that's been talking a lot. I'm sure the BitBoy team is going to be saying a lot over the next 24 to 48 hours. So we'll be talking about what they say. We're walking this straight down the middle because that's the only fair way to do it. All right, let's go back to it. Like I said, guys, this is very awkward for me because, again, I know everybody involved in this, and I care a lot about them, and I want them to succeed. The content creator instead claimed that Justin Williams and Hit Network's CEO TJ Shedd conjured the story out of whole cloth. TJ Williams, and this is a quote, I'm reading this is not my own statement. Justin Williams and TJ cooked up this plot because I take diet pills, I take phetamine, Armstrong said. Again, that's a quote from Armstrong, I'm not saying that. Anybody can look, and Armstrong again said, anybody can look this up, everyone knows, my wife knows. He added that he has a valid prescription for the weight loss drug. Armstrong said that he has also been accused of taking substances like cocaine, but that such claims are factually incorrect, and no one at the company ever asked him to take a drug test or confronted him with the topic before his removal. Okay, so this is another one of those allegations. This is one of those things that, not actual allegation would be the right term here. The term would be something more like, this is what someone says, right? We don't have facts or proof that nobody ever asked him for a drug test. We have him saying that, but that's not something that we have proof for. So we can keep that in mind, but we're not going to base our decision, if you will, or our judgment, which we're going to reserve judgment, based on just what somebody says. But it's interesting. It's interesting to hear his side. Armstrong elaborated in a voice call saying that he does take the steroids testosterone and Dianabol. Make of that what you will. If you want to say that that is relapsing into substance abuse, maybe it is, maybe it didn't. I don't know. That's your judgment to make as a viewer. Again, in an attempt to be a good journalist, because this is not only a great opportunity for us Christians to come out and show what it means to be a Christian and have compassion and love and understanding for people, while also understanding that truth and justice are paramount to civilization and the human experiment. It is also a great opportunity to show you what journalism looks like. So anyway, there's things that I'm tempted to say as far as information, not opinions, but information, but I'm going to hold it to myself for now. He goes on to say, they're using this to get me out of my own company, Armstrong said, explaining that his name was previously moved from Hit Network's office building because he said he had bad credit from his past. Armstrong dubbed all the alleged behavior diabolical and insane. But a high-level Hit Network employee familiar with the matter told Decrypt that the company is not alleging hard drug abuse, but instead that Armstrong is consuming a cocktail of substances that the employee claimed is impairing Armstrong's judgment. So, let's verify that. Let's see what is said. Let's just see how this all kind of matches up. Let's look. So, it says, during his relapse into substance abuse. So the tricky thing here for the community, and look, let me, even before I say this, because this might sound like a criticism, I am not trying to be critical here. Even before I say this, both sides of this are in very, very hard positions. Very difficult positions. I have no idea how a statement about this should, if everything that the BitBoy team is saying is true, I have no idea how they should go about this. I do not envy the position. I don't know what they should have done. Left, stayed, removed, not removed. Thank God I'm not in that position, because I would probably make a mess of it. What I will say is this. If the public knows that Ben Armstrong suffered with drug abuse in the form of heroin, then to say that he relapsed into substance abuse is going to imply to the public that he relapsed into heroin abuse. Does that make sense? We're connecting dots here. Not making an opinion. Just following a logical train of thought. This is not me trying to knock BitBoy Crypto. It's very possible that was an oversight. They're like, oh man, this makes sense in our head. This is kind of what I'm talking about. It's very possible that they think, oh, this makes sense in our head. He relapsed into testosterone and Dianabol, which maybe they think, oh, he did this a year ago and he got clean and he relapsed, right? Maybe they're like, okay, maybe it makes sense in their mind and they just didn't realize how this would convey to the public. Very possible there's a misunderstanding. And that's what I would hope. I don't wish ill or, bad on anybody here. But when the statement relapse into substance abuse happens, you're going to end up thinking, okay, relapse into heroin. That's kind of that. You're going to connect those dots in your head, right? Again, whether that is what was intended or not, I don't know. In no way do I want to bash either side or make one side look right and one side look wrong, because frankly, both sides, I'm sure, are right in some areas and wrong in some areas. It is not as simple as saying things are black and white, because they just aren't. But a high-level Hit Network employee familiar with the matter told Decrypt that the company is not alleging hard drug abuse, but instead that Armstrong is consuming a cocktail of substances that the employee claims is impairing Armstrong's judgment. Whoever the high-level Hit Network employee familiar with the matter that told Decrypt this is, that might be something helpful for the community to make public. I don't know. I mean, it's in this Decrypt article, but of course, this is just Decrypt saying, oh, we have insider sources, right? Without a name, it's a little bit like, okay, we don't know exactly what's going on here. In a Discord call, Armstrong said that he never enacted physical violence on coworkers, but did once threaten Shed. So this is where we have a fact, because like, you don't make an allegation about yourself. You know why? 2 reasons. Number 1, you were an eyewitness. So you saw it happen. You saw yourself do something. It is a fact, because I'm telling you, unless you take me for a liar, but why would I lie about this? That I don't know, cheated on a test when I was in 3rd grade. I'm just making something up. Right? It's a fact that I stole a piece of bubble. I have no idea. I'm not a thief. I'm just saying that if you tell something about yourself that is not in the best light, and you're telling it about yourself, typically you take that as what's known as a confession, and you take that as a fact. It is possible for people to be strong-armed into making a false confession. I don't see why Ben would, so I'm going to take what he's saying here as a fact, because he is saying it about himself, and it is in a negative light. So that is a fact of the case at this point, in my opinion, and you guys can tell me if you disagree, but I'm comfortable considering this statement a fact if this really happened. And that's a big if. You know, if Decrypt is not just making this up. I would love to see confirmation of this. Again, these are criminal allegations that we're talking about here on both sides. So we need to verify these things. So on the off chance, in the event that this really was said, that Armstrong admitted to this, then that's what we call a confession, and that's where we can take that as actually a fact of the case. Because there's a case. There's a case being built against both by either one. And then Armstrong apparently went on to said, Decrypt says this, and I hope Decrypt didn't lie about this, because if they did, they just ruined their brand. So I'm kind of going a little bit of trust here. Not going to take this as just a full-on fact, but this is a quote. Apparently Armstrong said, I threatened to beat the crap out of TJ when I found out he was trying to take everything from me. Armstrong said, he's trying to strip every single thing from me. The Hit Network employee confirmed that Shed was threatened, but added that many people were threatened and alleged that physical confrontations did occur. Oh boy. There's a mess here. Conflict at Hit Network has been reportedly ongoing for many months. Let's just take a second. You know, this is the best. Let's just take a second and decompress. We just need like a, you know, like my 2-year-old. He gets brain breaks. I need some of those, right? I need a brain break every once in a while. I don't drink coffee anymore. As I drink coffee, I went off of coffee, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. But it is nice to have it every once in a while. And I'm only drinking it right now because I got literally 3 hours of sleep last night. Anyway, brain break over. Let's go back to it. But the Hit Network employee familiar with the matter Armstrong also alleged, conflict at Hit Network has been reportedly ongoing for many months. In the Tuesday call, Armstrong also alleged that company employees are telling him about additional measures being taken to ensure their support. Armstrong also alleged the company employees are telling him about additional measures being taken. Right. But the Hit Network employee familiar with the matter denied those allegations. Shad declined to comment. Williams did not respond to Decrypt's request for comment. Overall, Armstrong asserted that the company would not be able to succeed without his return. Obviously, the company is going to make $0 without me, Armstrong said. All our major sponsors have already pulled out, so they don't really have a choice here, he said. This is going to get extremely dirty before it gets better, Armstrong warned. In a response to the lost sponsors claim, the Hit Network employee told Decrypt that any claims that the company had lost all of its sponsors was laughably false and hinted that a lawsuit may be on the horizon. So, goodness gracious. Guys, I'm not going to lie, this is hard for me because I am doing my very best. Doing my very, very, very best. Caffeine is the world's most widely used drug. Shame on you, Jeb. It is. If you don't know, caffeine is a psychoactive drug, which is one of the reasons that I don't drink it every single day anymore. Can you pray for Ben and the entire situation before ending? I would love to. Coming off coffee terrifies me. It's not fun, but on the other side, you're going to be in a lot better shape, in my opinion. It's helped me a lot. So, quick recap. Again, couple of things. We're coming at this as a Christian and from a stance of journalistic integrity. Those are the two ways that we are approaching this. As a Christian, we need love, we need empathy, we need kindness, we need gentleness. There needs to be justice. Our God is a merciful God, but a just God, and he's perfectly balanced in that. As a Christian, we have to come at it from that standpoint. We also need to come at it from journalistic integrity. It is my goal to bring you facts that are true or allegations that it is a fact were stated. It is a fact that a certain allegation happens. It's not a fact that the allegation is true. Hopefully that makes sense. And to allow you to make up your mind. Because again, the cool thing about the position that I'm in is that I don't know who's right here. I have heard things, both publicly and privately, about what's going on. And I am sitting on the sidelines saying, this is a colossal mess, and it's not good for the company. Excuse me, not good for the company, but also not good for the industry. I'm interested. I got a call from a marketing friend of mine yesterday, and he was talking to me about the kind of the headwinds in crypto. And I asked him if he thought that this had, I've got some, like I said, I have some friends in the industry that give me insider information sometimes, but as far as what I mean is not for trading, but just kind of insight on what's going on in different companies, but also insight on what's going on insider information, sounds like insider trading. I'm not talking about that, but as far as like what may be occurring in certain situations. But I had a friend who's a marketer call me yesterday, spoke to him at length, and it was weird because we were trying to get ready for the storm, so apologies to my marketing friend if he is watching this. I won't say your name just because I don't know if you want that to be public right now, but he was a good friend of mine, longtime friend of mine. Anyway, and told me that this hasn't really impacted the marketing yet, but is going to happen. Is probably going to have an impact, and the reason for that is that advertisers are having a difficult time trusting the industry because the bull market's down. Everybody's kind of moved towards paid conversions, so they do advertising to get clicks. Long story. Point is, this is something that could impact the marketing landscape. This is something that could impact the landscape for content creators in crypto YouTube, and it definitely does not help. Anything. Someone said, worst YouTube show ever. Jesus. Thomas Beach said, well, Thomas, there are some beaches that are turning into lakes right now. You're welcome to go and explore those. I mean, wait until the hurricane's over. But, I don't know. It was a lame dad joke. Worst YouTube show ever. That's okay. That's all right. You tell me, if you have feedback and you think I can make it better somehow, please tell me. Go for it. Go for it. I don't have a fragile enough ego that I'm not willing to hear your constructive criticism and feedback. All right. Sounds like they didn't even try to sit down and ask Ben to stop his behavior either. Bad business. I don't know if they, I don't know what's going on there. You would hope that they did, but I don't know. Again, I don't know. Coffee got you rambling, brother. If you have a take, make it. All right. Let's make the take. Here's the take. Ben Armstrong was accused of relapsing into substance abuse. That substance abuse was it could be very easily deduced based on the facts of what we know publicly that what was implied there was a relapse into heroin abuse, which Ben, I believe, has been very public about. He used to struggle with, and he's got a really cool story of coming out of that. So it kind of leaves the public in a position to think, okay, well, did he relapse into heroin abuse? That's what relapse, substance abuse. Those are the three words that were used. Ben posts a negative 5-panel drug test. Many people are saying you should take more drug tests, do a hair test. Apparently that's a thing. I don't know anything about drug tests. Never touched drugs in my entire life. Funny story, I was offered weed one time, and I was like, nope, I don't want to do that. And, I learned pretty quickly, nothing against it, but I said, no, I'm good. And the lady that offered it to me pulled out an Uzi. This is true stuff. Like, this stream just got weird, I know. It's like 5 years ago. Pulled out an Uzi and was waving it around. Like, look at this. It's so cool. I'm like, nope, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. So if I ever want to, sometimes, humor sometimes is shocking. I'll just walk up to somebody and be like, hey, I had an Uzi pointed at me one time. Oh, man, we're way off topic. Anyway. Best show ever on Ben's side, too. Oh, no. That's not what I want to convey. I am not on Ben's side. I am not on TJ's side. I'm not on anybody's side. The only reason that I'm talking more about Ben is because he's the one that's been talking. And I'm not saying I'm not getting into the weed conversation. I'm just saying I was offered that one time and had an Uzi pointed at me. It was a very weird day. They phrased it that way to get the public to think that very thing? I don't know. I have no idea. Look, guys, at the same time, okay, so let's just be fair here. Again, I'm going for being fair and balanced. right? It was that Fox News' headline. I'm not Fox News. Fox News is not fair and balanced. They lean one way, right? They want to say they're fair and balanced because they want to get the benefit of being in the middle where they get the masses, but they also want to have a lean, and that's not my goal. I just want to be fair, honest, and Christian and journalistic about this. There are allegations made about both that are pretty bad. There are allegations that Ben hit people, that Ben did this, or excuse me, not that he hit people, but I'm sorry, there's physical confrontation, I think that it said. I apologize. I'm very sorry. I did not mean to say that. As far as that physical confrontations did occur is what I'm talking about. That would be, something you could deduce from that. Is what the Hit Network employee said to Decrypt. But ultimately, we don't know what's going on here. None of this has been proven. The only thing that we can really take as fact, and we still can't do that because it's Decrypt saying it's not Ben Armstrong as his face saying it, right? Or posting it on a Twitter account that he proved. We can't even really take it for a fact that as far as that he admitted to some of these things, right? So, someone's asking for my take. Here's my take. My take is there are two sides to this. Excuse me, there are three sides to this. There's Ben's side, there's TJ's side, and there's the truth. And by TJ, I mean the BitBoy team. Obviously, there's the team there. The truth is, I'm sure both sides have made mistakes. I'm sure both sides have done good things. We all know that Ben obviously has helped people in the market, and he's made mistakes. Same way I have. I've helped people, and I've made mistakes. TJ has made mistakes, and he's helped people. He's helped people, and he's made mistakes. What we need to figure out here is whether certain allegations are true, and ultimately, we need to figure out whether the BitBoy team was justified in what they did. I'm not going to be the judge of that. But what I will say is that whether we like it or not, our hearts are kind of going to make a judgment. Okay, that looks right. That looks wrong. That looks true. That looks false. I'm looking at the evidence. I'm not looking at this through an emotional lens. This is what I've been presented. This is the case that's been laid out by both sides. This is what is true. And so therefore we have to end up at some point in our hearts making a moral judgment of, was what occurred justified? On every side, right? You are going to end up more than likely making a judgment in your heart. I haven't done that yet. I've reserved judgment on whether or not what they did was right. I have no idea. We might have more information on that in a few weeks. I don't know. And maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Again, I don't know. I certainly don't want to sound like I'm on Ben's side. I'm not. I'm not on TJ's side either. I'm on the truth side. But at some point, we will start making judgments in our hearts. Very quickly if we're not careful, but hopefully slowly and methodically. About different facts of the case. Judgment of, was it appropriate to make this threat that Ben apparently admitted to? Was it appropriate for him to be removed, as we know happened? We need a lot more information before we can make those judgments. That's my take. My take is we need a lot more information. We have more information today, but we definitely need more information than we already have. All right. Just focus on the market. Yeah, I would. In fact, we can look at the market for a second. We probably should. Let's do it. Let's look at Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin for just a second, guys. I am going to have to go in here in about 5 minutes. Bitcoin has not really done a whole lot since yesterday. As you guys know, Grayscale won their case. The District Court of Columbia said that Grayscale was going to have to go back to, that the SEC was going to have to review the application for an ETF, a Bitcoin spot ETF by Grayscale, and that in their opinion, it was unreasonable, and I quote, unreasonable for the SEC to deny them an ETF. Bitcoin subsequently moonshot. GBTC, not BGTC, GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, also moonshot. All the way up 20%. Very bullish day. So again, the reason we're talking about Ben here is because, to my knowledge, the main statements have been made by Ben over the last 24 hours. We're probably going to see some statements from BitBoy Crypto's side. As far as by BitBoy Crypto, what I mean is by the side of BitBoy Crypto, the company. Do I have any opinions on this that I'm even comfortable sharing? My one opinion is that we need more information and we need to follow the facts wherever they may lead, even if they lead in a direction that we don't like, because we like a certain content creator or we like a certain team. If the facts lead us in the direction of saying, wow, this was a good decision, or if this was a bad decision, then we need to follow those facts. Another opinion: both sides of this need to be putting out facts. Both sides need to be putting out facts. We need to see evidence. And another opinion is that I would love to speak to both of the leaders of what's going on here individually. I'd love to give them both a platform. I'd love to speak to Ben, and I would love to speak to TJ. I would love to speak to Justin. I would love to speak to anybody else involved in this. And I would love to be a platform for discourse if it can be respectful and fair and calm. If I were to host some kind of discourse like this, that might be difficult because I'm in a different state. It would need to be fair, and it would need to be kind, it would need to be gentle, and it would need to be simply stating, this is what's true, here's my evidence to back it up, period. I would love to be in a position to help in any way I can. So Ben, if you're watching this, or TJ, if you're watching this, I love you both. I've met you both. You both have been very good to me. I'm very thankful for the support of the BitBoy Crypto channel over the years. I'm not even interested necessarily in you coming on the channel. If you want to do that, you can. I can open that platform somehow. But even privately, if there's any way that I can help, speaking directly to Ben or TJ or anybody involved directly in this matter, if there's any way that I can help to be a peacemaker, I would love to. Because the Bible says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall inherit the earth. For they shall inherit the kingdom of God. It's my dream to be a peacemaker here. And if I can put myself in a position to be a peacemaker, then I will. Some people may not like the way that I'm covering this. Simply reading the facts, being very careful not to give an opinion, because I don't have a ton of opinions on this. I just see a mess. But I believe that's the only way to do this with integrity. Because there have been very serious allegations made about both parties. There are allegations being made that TJ did this or Ben did that. Ultimately, my point is we need to see evidence. We need to see evidence. My point here, I'm going to keep updating you on what the facts are, so you can tune in here, and I'll do my best to update you on any updates that have happened. If you guys see any updates, feel free to share them with me on Twitter and say, hey, this person said this person said that, here's an article. And my other point is to make a public statement that I would love to be a peacemaker in this in any way that I can. And because I want to be a peacemaker, I will not be taking a side. I can be a moderator in this. I can maybe help to bring together old friends that right now are obviously very much at odds. But I will not take a side on this. Good deal. Good deal. All right, let's read chat a little bit. By the way, if you don't know where I am, I'm going to go here in just a second. I'm currently sitting in my car because we had to flee our home. There's a hurricane. Turns out that our home hasn't been hit that hard. The power's out right now. But you can see through the security cameras, probably 20, 30 mile an hour winds. Hurricane Idalia landed 2 hours ago, a little bit west of where we live. I know a lot of people that are in harm's way. As soon as we get off of here, I'm probably going to make some calls, make sure everybody's okay. We'll probably end up making another video today. But at the end of the day, I'll collect my thoughts a little bit more. I've been raising 2 kids all morning. Been a lot going on. Didn't have as much time to prepare for the stream as I normally do. It's fun being on vacation, but definitely have to figure out how to make everything work. All the trains run on time. But yeah, we're going to continue covering this. We'll continue covering Bitcoin. I appreciate all of you. Let's see. And let's keep the hate down. I don't want to see it in my chat. I'm gonna start removing it. To be honest, I'm gonna start removing it in either direction. Because my goal here is for our channel, for my voice and our channel, to not be promoting condemnation or hatred. So there's hatred. We're gonna start moving it, and it will be. I promise you, it will be unilateral. Whether there's hatred against Ben, TJ, seen some hatred against him, whatever it may be. State of fact, go for it. No problem with the fact being brought to public light. But we're not going to see hatred. Have you talked to TA Tim since all this happened? I have talked to a lot of people since this happened. Crypto Corey. Let's see. Does Ben still own a portion of the company? That is something that that Ben would have to come out and state. Having to be political. Let's see. Just going to reach out a little bit more. Let's see. I'm going to reach out just a second more. Mike Lowry said, coming off coffee isn't anything, lol. I'm 202 days into quitting cigarettes. Boom! Good job, Mike Lowry. Love it. That's awesome. Congratulations. Wrong time for this to happen. This could kill the ATB show and the BitBoy show. This is the time when crypto YouTubers call it quits. I hope people don't call it quits. Crypto YouTube is so much bigger than one individual. Even if that one individual was the biggest influencer, still is the biggest influencer, whatever you want to say. Max P said, you're really breaking this down good. Good job. Thank you. I'm trying to. Nothing but the facts, ma'am. Nothing but the facts. Problem is the company was built of a person's personality. You can't work without it. It's too imperative to the product. Yeah, I'm interested to see what the strategy is going to be moving forward. Whether it can work or not, I don't know. Never seen it. Never really seen it done in a way that, I don't know. There's just not a lot of precedence there to say, hey, this will work or this won't. We'll see. I don't know. But like I said, guys, until you see evidence, statements that are made or allegations, if somebody says, hey, I did this, I was wrong, then that's a confession. And so long as we know that it's actually them that said it and it's not somebody making up a quote from them, then we can take that as a fact. Ben Armstrong saying, and this is kind of, like I said, if this is true, if Ben Armstrong said, you know, I threatened to beat the crap out of TJ when I found out he was trying to take everything from me, he's trying to strip every single thing from me, or that, you know, that he was, you know, testosterone, dianabinol, and those certain things, then those are things that we can kind of take and say, okay, well, Ben, you know, scare quotes, admitted to this, you know, whether it's a good thing, bad thing, whatever, but he's saying, oh yeah, this is true, right? Okay. So what should the team have done? I don't know. No idea. I don't know what they should have done. I don't know if they should have done anything. I don't know if they should have done more. I don't know if they should have done this. I have no clue. What I can tell you is that I can almost guarantee you this is going to end up in court. Like this is almost certainly going to end up in front of a judge. And when that happens, we will have more facts of the case. Because in the same way that I'm saying, hey, facts, please, that's what I need. Not, he did this, she did that, they did these things. I'm done with the allegations. Let's see some facts. You guys are going to keep asking me what my point is. That's going to be the same point over and over and over again. There are extreme allegations being made by TJ and by the BitBoy team and by Ben. And we need facts. We need hard evidence that can be verified. Somebody needs to track down whoever Here's an assignment. Here's some homework for you guys. Somebody needs to track down this person, Janelle Jaworski, MD, and get an interview with them. I might try and do that and say, hey, did you physically see this man come in here and take this test? And was it done legitimately? Like, somebody needs to go and verify the veracity of this drug test. But we need facts. I cannot say that enough. It is childish to say this person did that and not give facts. It is childish to say this person did that and not give facts. I'm not saying that there aren't facts. I'm not saying there is not evidence. But if an allegation is made, honestly, there needs to be evidence presented. Nothing but the facts, man. Nothing but the facts. That's not to say that certain allegations aren't true. They may be. But we need to see the facts from both sides. Don't trust, verify. That's blockchain for you, and that's how we have to go about this. Every single thing that was said by one side or the other may be true, but we need to see facts. Patient confidentiality, she'll never be able to say that to us. Well, that's true. Kasia, I knew better than that. That's true. Unless Ben, the patient, asks her to say it. So Ben, maybe try and hunt down the MD to verify that and say, hey, it was me. Patient confidentiality. I release it. I want you to tell the public, you know. So, yeah. All right. Good deal. All right, guys. Like I said, I got to go. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. We'll probably make a video relatively soon on some of this some more. And we will continue to talk about all things happening here in crypto. As far as someone said drugs are personal, you don't have to show anything about it. Yeah, I mean, as far as keeping things confidential and private is a wonderful thing. Handling things outside the public spotlight, if you can do it, that's a good thing. I'm saying that if you're going to bring an allegation public, you need to also bring evidence public, because that's only fair, right? You're gonna make something public, you kind of have to prove it. If you're not gonna make it public, then don't post proof, right? Because that's making it public. All right, like I said, I gotta go. Appreciate all of you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Coffee and Crypto. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've only got 330 likes. Let's see if we can't get to 500 before we wrap it out. Subscribe to the channel for more content. More videos coming out soon. Bitcoin's going into a bull market before we know it. And real quick, God, I just pray that you would bless everybody in Hurricane Idalia's path. Keep them safe. And both sides of this, that you'd keep them safe. And let the truth be made known. In Jesus' name, amen. Somebody asked if I could pray on stream before we leave. There you go. Thank you guys so much. We're going to handle this as Christians. We're going to handle this with journalistic integrity. And I'm perfectly open to correction if I fail to meet either one of those high marks. Please feel free to correct me if you don't think I'm doing that right. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling.